Hey everybody, welcome back, family. I've got a couple of mail calls today, a couple of slabs that came in, which I'm going to be showing you what I got. You want to see what it is? Stick around. So yes, welcome back, family, to Team Ohana. I'm your host, Rich, and like I said, I've got a couple of I got four slabs in of things, three from one seller and one from another. That's why I got two boxes, and they're all Golden Age books, but they're definitely books that people are going to be looking like, why did you buy those? And the simple reason is just like the same thing that you should be guiding your collection. It made me happy. So whatever you buy for your collection, nobody in the world has any right to tell you that you bought the wrong book, you paid too much, you paid too little, you slabbed it, you didn't slab it, you Marvel, you DC, you Charlton, whatever. It does not matter. All that matters is that you're putting books into your collection that when you look at them, they make you happy, they make you smile. So for me, the kind of books that make me smile are the books that I don't normally see on a regular basis. So, I mean, would I love to have the Action Comics #1 that you see at the Heritage auction with like 5 days left, and now with the buyer's premium is approaching $4.9 million. It's not no, it's not approaching. It is $4.9 million. It's only an 8.5, but it is a pedigree. So we've already beaten the Amazing Fantasy record, and with 5 days left, are we going to hit $6 or $7 million with the buyer's premium? So I don't know. There's people worried about the state of the market, and you see sales like this make me think, you know what, we're doing okay. Those are grails though. Those are all awesome keys. Those are grails. The books I bought are definitely not grails. They're not even keys. They're just books that I'm like, wow, I don't remember ever seeing that. I know that character. They're not superhero characters. But let's get into it. I've got them already pre-staged, and you can see them here. Oh, I'd like to get that onto a bigger screen. You can see the backs of two of the books, and the other two books are already behind it. So the first one I'm going to do is I'm going to turn one of these around, and the book behind it is also backwards, so you can't tell what it is. Ha ha ha. Now, again, this is what the heck did he buy? I saw it and like, you know what? That's kind of cool. I like it. So this is a January 1950 book, 4-color number 262, in a respectable 6.0 of Raggedy Ann and Andy. I didn't even know they made a comic book of Raggedy Ann and Andy. Yeah, and again, I showed all four of these books to Mrs. Ohana, and the first two books that I'm showing you, she was not impressed by. Most people are not impressed by them. The bidding was reflective of people that are not impressed by them. But I just wanted to have them. I mean, I don't remember ever seeing this, and just getting a 6.0 4-color book, from 1950, 74-year-old book, creamed off-white pages. It's a little off there. So the other one, you could probably tell if you really know your characters from the back cover. But what I really liked about this one was the grade. I'm going to turn this one around. This is a book from October of 1950, so it's the same year. And it is an off-white page. It is 4-color number 297, but this one is in a very, very nice 8.5 off-white pages of Andy Panda, and a pretty cool-looking cover on that one too, if I may say so myself. We've got the Haunted Inn, and this also does kind of point out how they were able to get good covers with much less diversity and color of ink. Remember that they didn't have the same palettes. They didn't have 5,000 different hues and tints that they could use on, it's like this color blue. And I mean, if you look at the dress on Raggedy Ann, it's got the yellow flowers, and the blue in the background is exactly the same color as the blue that they used on the cover of the Andy Panda. So they were very limited in their colors. So, but they still made things work very, very well. So that was 2 out of the 4 books. We're going to move them out of the way now. Show you the other 2 books. And let's see. There we go. The next book we're going to turn around. These 2 books I just took down, and the next book I'm about to show were all from the same seller. So that was one of the benefits. Is I contacted him in advance on eBay and said, "Hey, if I buy multiple listings, will you give me a break on the shipping?" He said, "Yes. Well, it's $14.50 to ship one. Anything you buy after the first, I'll ship for free. We'll just put it all into one box." So again, that gives you your, decrease in the price. It gives you a little advantage over the other sellers. Make sure that you contact the seller in advance and ask them that. Don't assume it, because they're under no obligation to do that. So the next one we're gonna flip around here is a 1944. This is a 6.0. It's also a 4-color, but we're dropping backwards here. We were in the 200s. Now we're 4-color number 52, because we've gone back all the way to September of 1944. And this character, if you didn't know the first two, you're probably going to know this one. It's Little Orphan Annie. And talk about the amount of color that they had. That's like one color for the... they had to use thick lines around her hair because... otherwise, it would have been a negative space variant. But that's definitely the iconic look of Little Orphan Annie with the round circles for eyes. And to me, I just thought that was a really, really cool book. It's also in one of the older CGC holders. So this one could be a candidate for a crack and press and clean and send back in to try to get a higher grade. However, I don't think that it really merits it. I don't think the sale price, the 3 books that I've shown you already combined were like $100. So I was just getting Golden Age books for a decent price of things that I thought were cool. Shoot. I didn't even realize that you can actually read the name on the back of the other book. And you can see that it is a 0.5. Well, you know what? I just watched one of the videos of Only Slabs on Rob's Fat Stacks, and it wasn't this week. Was it the week before? The week or 2 weeks ago? He had a gentleman on there that had some real, oh my god, banger Golden Age like horror books and whatnot. Just amazing books. And as he said, he really didn't care about the grade as long as it was a cover that really popped out and looked cool to him. And in all honesty, I agree with that, but I didn't realize just how much I love some of those covers until I saw his collection. And then I just I'm keeping my eye open for myself. So I was able to get a Tomb of Terror number 11 in a 0.5 from 1953 from Harvey Publications. And this is one of those ones that just, oh my God, that looks so dang cool. I'm going to hold this up so you can see the entire thing. Would you dare enter the closet? So, I mean, you can absolutely see that it is a 0.5. Doesn't have any notes or anything about why it's so low. I'm sure you can find it on the registration at CGC. But to see all those heads, knowing this is a pre-code 1953 book, I absolutely love that book. I think again, if you're being more subjective about having the book and having something that looks good than the actual number on the grade, then you can really get some great looking books in your collection. And but it's hard to resell. I'm not buying these with the idea of reselling them. I'm sure somebody, after they inherit it after I'm dead, they're gonna have to resell it. That's their problem, not mine. My thing is I want to have cool books in my collection. So if I can't afford a 9.6 for $50,000, I'm going to grab a 0.5 for $100. Not $100,000. And I'll give you an example of that. I have another book that's on the wall behind me that I'm going to push pause for a second. Okay, sorry about that. I just want to grab a different 0.5 that I had up on the wall. And it's a 0.5 because page 12 is missing. And it was punched, for the holes are punched to put it into a binder. And yes, I absolutely hate when they do that. However, the location that they punch the holes, just the way it works out, you don't notice them unless you're looking for them. And this book, I would love to have this in a high grade. I just simply cannot afford this. And what I saw, I've seen 0.5s, I've seen 1.5s, I've seen 2.0s. It didn't look as good as this. So I was very happy put this one into my collection. Daredevil #1. And like I said, now if you look, if you pay attention, you can see by his hand, that's where one of the holes is punched. I'm going to see if I can bring this up to the other camera so we can see it a little bit better. If I were to turn this around to the opposite side, you definitely see the holes. Okay, but even the back cover still looks decent. But if I show you just from the front, you don't see the one down here. Oh, wrong side. Because it's in the middle of his costume. You don't see the one up here because it's in the darker area. And this one almost is hidden by his hand. So at first look, if I were to just show you this book like this, you would not think that is a 0.5. It's not missing any piece of the cover. The back cover looks pretty decent as well. It's dirty. It's got a couple of, definitely you can see the creases in it, but not 0.5 level. So I was extremely happy to find something like that. And I see other people that are buying, like 1.0s, 2.0s that are, I think you can get up to a 1.5 with a portion of the cover removed. So that to me is not a good, I wouldn't want that. There are people that would rather have the higher grade. No, I want a book that I can look at it and not care about the grade. I mean, you care about the grade, but you don't care about the grade if it looks right, So that's why I was able to get books like The Tomb of Terror looking as awesome as it does and not caring about the number. So, all right, so that is my mail call. I'm going to make sure I get this up for the YouTube members in advance. And if you're seeing this on regular YouTube, just remember, you could have seen it much sooner if you're a member of YouTube. And if you're interested in watch-along videos, you could have been watching Bad Batch all season as a watch-along video by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/gmohana. You like what you've seen, please do me a favor, click like and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the notifications so you know when more videos are dropping. I'm going to make sure that I get I've got a CGC submission coming back tomorrow, so hopefully I'll have the video up for that pretty soon. And I've got a couple more books coming in from eBay that'll be on another mail call. Meantime, though, until I see you, thank you so much for joining. Like, subscribe, notifications, share it with a friend. Really appreciate it. Until I see you in the next video, mahalo.